Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you already know, this is your usgeneral 5-drawer tool cart with side tray and deep compartment. And today is Friday, as you can see. Just made it back over to the storage unit again, okay? As always state as usual, I always keep my signature lingering somewhere in the background, my Dunkin' Donuts coffee, okay? You already know. All right, so today a little bit earlier, I did receive a package. Okay, unfortunately, I do have a few other items that are on order. Two of the items are moving late, so I won't be receiving the two items that technically were supposed to be delivered today. I won't be receiving them until Monday and Tuesday. And with the other packages that I'm waiting on at this prior moment, I may be receiving something tomorrow. Okay. In the process of Saturday coming along, I will be getting to doing some modifications to the cart as far as putting the Husky tool cordless organizer on the cart. Okay. I did go to a local Home Depot a little while ago to see if I can have the other two cordless holders ordered and sent to a particular Home Depot so that I didn't have to worry about the extra fees. Okay. So I'm gonna see how that comes along. Like I said at this prior moment, I did receive an item a little while ago, so we're gonna jump into that, take a look, see what came in. Okay, so we ain't gonna hold you up too much more longer. We're gonna get to it, dive right in. So walk with me. Okay, as you can see, got the package laid out on top of the tool cart. Got my box cutters out. So I'm gonna get this package open, get the items out. We're gonna take a look and inspect things real quick. Okay, so let's get it. Okay, what you're taking a look at here is a SAE standard 6-point deep socket set. Okay, this was a pickup that was made off of eBay. It did come in heavy packaging, and as you can see, they have the sockets taped down because it doesn't come with a dust shield. So I'm gonna get the tape off so that I can basically inspect the sockets. Okay, as you can see, everything runs from 3/8 all the way to 1 1/8 over here. Okay, this is one of the particular sets that I have coming in. I also have the 12-point SAE standard sets coming in also. All right. To shed a little light on some, I have one of my subscribers that commented on a particular video from yesterday, and what it is that they just happen to notice, how I've been picking up the SAE standard sets, and the question that was asked is, when it comes to certain technicians, certain mechanics, depending upon what type of work that they basically do, a lot of people, they don't like to use the 12-point or spline drive, okay, because on removals of fasteners, in certain instances, in most cases, that they do tend to round off fasteners. So to answer and to shed a little light on that particular question, like I did state in a comment, okay, there has been some times that I've run into certain particular applications and work where I was using a metric size millimeter socket in a metric application, okay, but in certain instances I have ran into issues where even though it's a metric application, there's been times where that same millimeter metric socket with the placement ratio fitment would not fit on a fastener or a particular lug nut pattern. Okay, and what had happened is that it wasn't that the sockets were too thick. It's just the bottom line is I couldn't get the socket over the fastener. So what had happened and what I had tend to notice is that I needed to go to a SAE standard size. I can't technically remember at this prior moment the make and model of the truck because it was a double cab full range truck that I was working on during the time. And if I'm not mistaken, I might have been using a 22 or 24 millimeter. Okay, but the issue was is that the socket wasn't going on, or it was slightly too small. So what it was is that I moved to a standard SAE socket during the time. It's happened to me on a couple of occasions where I think that technically I had to use a 7/8 and a 1 inch. Okay, so on a 22 millimeter in the 7/8 will range between the 22 millimeter and 23 millimeter, which is basically an odd size. Okay, so that 7/8 gave me the clearance to basically get the fastener off during that time. Well, I think it was the lug nut. Okay, and the same situation when it came to me using a 24 millimeter, which I had to move to a 1 inch in standard SAE. um Not just that, there's been times and applications where I've also run into those issues where I couldn't get a socket and a ratchet in, where that now it requires for me to use a wrench. Okay, and there's been times in the past where I've been in a shop where I had lacked certain 12-point um metric sizes in wrenches. So this was for what purpose? Why I went out and I initially purchased the Genius extra long 12-point double box end wrenches. Okay, in the beginning those weren't exactly the set that I was looking to obtain during the time. I was really looking to obtain the snap-on high performance 0 degrees that I actually have now, and also the 15 degrees high performance double box end wrenches. But there's a big price differential in comparison when it comes to the Genius professional box end wrenches, with its odd sizes. And the wrenches are designed a little bit more differently than Snap-on. They're square testically compared to the snap-ons, where that they're a little bit more rounded. I actually demonstrate that and show that in another particular video, just as well as in the past. Me not just demonstrating or putting out in a tool review about the Genius professional boxing wrenches. There has been a time where I've been in the shop doing a particular job, and I actually was using the Genius box ends, and I actually recorded the footage during the time. If you didn't see that video, I'll try to go back in my history of videos and see it, and put that video in a link in description so that you can get a good understanding of what I'm basically explaining. At this prior moment, I do have the Genius boxing wrenches out in this tool cart, but the snap-ons I actually have packed away back here in this other chest right here. So just give me a second real quick so I can give you a little understanding to the 12-point design. Just as well as you can see, I have the high performance snap-on double flex head ratcheting wrenches, and as you can see, these are 12-point. These are not 6-point. Okay, and these are the snap-ons. The set is very expensive testically compared to snap-ons 0 degrees high performance and 15 degrees high performance double end box end wrenches. Okay, so just give me a second so I'll get these out real quick so that you can get understanding and a look. Okay, as you can see here, these are the Genius extra long double box end wrenches. Okay, and as you can see, these are 12-point here. Okay, these are the largest wrenches that are basically sitting to the back, which is a 17 millimeter and 19 millimeter. Okay, and basically, this is the set right here. I actually purchased this set first before the snap-on high performance 0 um double box ends. Okay, because back then during that time when I would always be on a snap-on truck, I was always trying to pick up the 0 degrees double box end wrenches in these same high performance 12-point flex head ratcheting wrenches, but unfortunately, my snap-on dealer never really carried them. He mainly more put these out as special orders, for certain individuals. I actually had to obtain some of that equipment from different platforms other than basically getting them from off the truck, because those high performance double flex head ratcheting wrenches that are sitting right there, they are expensive. Okay, for 5 wrenches, the set basically goes for about 505, between 505 and 520 or something like that, and that's basically before taxes and shipping and things of that nature. Okay, So, that's just basically what that is right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this tape from off these sockets over here so that I can take a good look and inspect the quality of them. Okay, see what it do, and we're going to jump right into it. Okay, now that I basically got the tape off, now I can get a good look at the sockets. Okay. So just as well, um, as the shallow 3/8 set that came in yesterday. If you missed that video, that was also a pickup and a purchase that was made on the eBay platform, which the sockets were brand new. They would never use. Just as well as this set here. Okay. And like I stated, this is a SAE standard. This is a 6-point set right here. Okay. I'll get into a little bit of, what a 12-point set would look like, and how it will come if you're unfamiliar to that. Okay, in a sense. So far, everything is looking good. There's no issues. I can tell that these sockets never been put on an anvil. There's no owner markings or anything like that. So the purchase was definitely a good pickup and a good buy. Okay, because on the snap-on truck, these SAE standard sets are very expensive, testically compared to some metric sets that are out there, especially these higher full sets right here, which this is a 13-piece set. Okay, to go a little bit more further in distinguishing when purchasing these particular items and knowing exactly what you're looking for and what you're purchasing, these same SAE standard sets, which also come in 12-point metric. When they come in 12-point metric, as you notice, the tray, okay, is red, but it's labeled with white measurements, as you can see, that runs along here. This is how you're basically able to distinguish the 6-point set from the 12-point sets, because the 12-point sets does not come with the white labeling. Okay, the whole tray is basically red, but on the tray it does have imprints of the measurements, but they're not as visible as you can see in its white lettering on the 6-point metrics. Okay. um As far as these items, I will leave links in the description to this video, so that when you're doing your research and you're out looking, to obtain certain equipment, you can get, a little comparison among some price ranges. Okay, depending upon what type of platforms that you choose to use to obtain these. Some of the SAE standard sets, I was just gonna basically pick them up from off the truck. Okay, but I did happen to come across them on a humble, for some reasonable prices. Wind up saving myself some money on these particular purchases. Okay, but I do have some other things and some other dealings basically with my deal. I just basically got off the phone with him just a little while ago. Okay, so even though I'm not at work, I stay in heavy communication with my dealer. Last week I was supposed to meet him. I just spoke to him just a little while ago on the phone. Mainly, most likely I may see him Friday coming up. This next Friday coming up. So stay tuned for that. So that when I'm on the truck, I can basically demonstrate and show what's new out there. Possibly get the newest Snap-on catalogs and flyers. Start putting out that content again, just because I'm not at work in physical shop right now. Like, I'm connected and I'm tied and I'm plugged in. So all the resources that I basically had when working in a shop, I still have those same resources. Those resources never went anywhere. Okay, so that's just basically about that at the prior moment. All right, so we're gonna get to it. And another thing I wanted to mention in my modifications, I have been getting together some special decals. I'm waiting for the rest to come in. As you can see, if you missed before, I did demonstrate and display that I did receive this particular snap-on decal right here, but I haven't used it yet because I have some other decals that are gonna go underneath this one, where that this one is basically gonna sit on top. To give you a good example, towards the end of this video, once I close the lid to the tool cart, to give you an idea of how I basically have the back of the lid of this tool cart, okay? Because as you can see, I do keep a lot of decals and things like that. So when I go to basically get to mounting the cordless tool organizers and get into a few other things, there's going to be quite a few things that's going to be added on in the selection, okay? So if you haven't seen these, I'm not quite sure whether the camera is picking it up real well or not, but it is a snap-on, and this is a skull, okay? It's transparent, okay? So yeah, that's what it basically is for right now, okay? Okay, to give a good visual of what I was basically explaining about the decal work, that I have on the cart, as you can see, okay? When I was showing you the snap-on decal is different from this skull, okay? But I have some other ideas and some other looks, okay, that I'm going to be adding on, as you can see, okay? The light is glaring, so it's not giving good visual because I have lighting that is basically over my head that's glaring into the image, okay? But just to give you a good idea of what's going on, okay? Okay, so pretty much I'm about to wrap this video up. As you can see, like I stated, I did stop at a Harbor Freight the other day to pick up a couple of things because like I stated, I am going to be doing some modifications. So that's what reason why I'm here at the storage unit at this prior moment, other than just giving you a tool review or a little demonstration of basically what just came in. Right now I'm about to scope out and get a good visual on everything that I would like to do to the card and get some good measurements, okay, liquid level and things of that nature. All right, so everybody enjoy the rest of your Friday out there, okay? Keep it blessed and safe one as always. Into that next tool haul, like I stated, I got more than a few things coming along, so stay tuned. Tomorrow I have something out there for you, Monday and Tuesday. So until then, I'm going to check you later. Peace.